This one's a little bit more time consuming than most of my horn tutorials, but as usual it's very simple to do. I'm going to start off with some modelling clay, and you want to start off with a few strips of this, and you're going to round it out, and then you're going to start breaking up those little strips of modelling clay and winding it up along the bottom just to thicken it up. And we're going to do it in 3 layers. One layer will go halfway, the second layer will start off at the bottom, and then the third layer we're going to keep for once we start twisting it into shape, because once we've flattened out the entire horn and we're going to start wrapping it into the shape we want, it's going to crack a little bit in certain places, and so you need to fill that up with clay, get it into the shape that you want. And also you're going to start doing it on the other horn, and you're going to cut the bottom so that it's at an angle, and that way it's going to sit slightly better on the Alice band. Now to cover the horns I'm going to be using some very thick tape, and what I'm going to be doing is that the sticky side is going to be on the outside, and you want to lay the entire horn. You're going to need to cut the tape into different sizes for this, the thicker ones at the bottom and then the thinner ones at the top. And once the entire horn is covered, we're going to be making a mixture with corn flour, some PVA glue and some water, and we're going to be mixing this into a thick paste. After that I'm going to take some kitchen tissue, and I'm just going to cut this into little strips, and then we're going to cover the entire horn. Now you're going to need to cover the horn in 2 different steps. The first step, you want to do one side of the horn, wait for it to dry, preferably overnight, and then you're going to cover the rest of it. And you want to make sure that these layers are very thick and sturdy. The thicker the outside, the stronger it's going to be and the more hard wearing it's going to be afterwards. But if you can, make sure that this is completely dry before you start cutting it. Once I've layered it up enough, I'm going to cut it open and then get the clay out from inside, and then we're going to cover up these edges. There are 2 different ways that you can cover it up. You can use the same tissue and corn flour method that we used earlier on, but I'm going to cheat and be a tiny bit lazy and use a glue gun. I'm then going to stick it down on the Alice band. Now obviously be careful with the glue gun, as some of you might have seen from my Instagram, it's very easy to burn yourself. So you're going to glue this down, hold it there until it's completely dry, and then we're going to do those little suckers that octopus have on their tentacles, and we're going to put this just down half of the tentacle. Now if you don't have a glue gun, another thing that you could also use is just some ordinary clay and stick that down. It won't make the horns too heavy if you do it this way. I'm then going to cover the horns in 3 different paints. I'm going to be using a green, which I'm going to cover the whole thing with. Then we're going to use a gold spray paint, and what you want to do is you only want to spray it from one angle, so that only part of the horn is going to catch this colour. So once I've got it up on a stand, I'm going to spray it from the side, and it's only going to catch the side of the horn. But then once this is dried, I'm going to turn it over, and then on the underside I'm going to be using a white. Over all of this, I'm then going to take the green spray paint again and cover it in a very thin layer. To finish it off, I'm going to be using a duochrome nail varnish. I'm going to cover the very end of the horn completely with this nail varnish, but then on the little circles that I've done with the glue gun, I'm going to cover those, and that way you're going to get this really beautiful clash of colours. You'll get that lovely bluey purpley colour from the nail varnish, but you'll also get the greens and the golds depending on how the light catches it and where you're standing. I'm going to finish off by just giving everything a good clear coat of varnish. And that's it. You're done!